Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is Nick Wright and the media threatened by Kawhi Leonard, threatened by the Clippers? So that's the topic I'm going to get into today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, make sure you go ahead and check out Dreamerspro Max, an online sports community that we created. Place where you can go and start basketball discussions, chat live during games. So many other cool things. If you guys are interested in that, be sure to check that out. We have that linked in the description below and get 7 days of access. And also make sure you go ahead and click the join button to join the channel to receive loyalty badges from our channel. Anyway, let me get into this topic here. So listen, all season long, the Clippers have flown under the radar. In the general media. Now, some Clipper fans said, listen, this is what we want because, we don't want any attention on us because it'll put too much expectations and all of that stuff. And I said, that's crap. Listen, you got a good team. You got good players. They should be talked about. No matter what happens, they should be talked about because every year is a new year, except with the Clippers. The Clippers are the only team that they kind of just stay suspended in time, right? People kind of, they did something and then people want to keep them in that time capsule forever. It seems to be the case, right? No one really gave them a shot this year to come out of the Western Conference. No one really spoke about them in any way that was serious. The only time, and then you have some people that have kind of flip-flopped on them, like Kendrick Perkins. One week he said he believed the Clippers are going to come out of the Western Conference. Then the next week he flip-flops on them. So I don't really understand, what's going on there. A lot of people said, well, it had to do with what happened in the Orlando bubble last year, right? We don't trust the Clippers because of what we witnessed in the bubble, them blowing that 3-1 lead, the way Paul George performed, all of these different things, right? And people said that because of that, they didn't think that they were going to do very well, this season. And I've said it all year long. I said last year was last year. People said, no, pandemic P, you got to show me what it is. Kawhi Leonard, this and this and this. I said it's a mistake that you guys are making because it's the very same reasoning that you took when you said, okay, well, because of what happened last year, it could happen this year. It's the same thing with the Lakers. Because the Lakers won in the Orlando bubble last year, a lot of y'all assumed that the Lakers will come into this season and win it all. And when in reality, last year was last year. The circumstances of last year were the circumstances of last year. But because the Lakers won the title last year, y'all thought, okay, well, they just won it last year. So obviously they're going to win it this year, right? You see how you can make a mistake, right? Assuming that just because the way something was is the same way it's going to be in the future. And you turned out to be very, very wrong. And the Lakers ended up getting bounced in round one by the Phoenix Suns, according to most people's logic. But the reality was the Lakers had a different team, was under a different set of circumstances. Lakers had Rondo, they had Danny Green, they had Dwight Howard. They don't have those players anymore. Last year the Clippers had Montrezl Harrell, Lou Williams, JaMychal Green. This year they have different players like Rajon Rondo, Serge Ibaka, Nicholas Batum. Right? It is a different team, but people wanted to just feel the way that they wanted to hold on to whatever narrative that they had in their mind. Now Nick Wright, all season long, has insulted the Clippers. All season long. I've watched the majority of his takes on the Clippers this season. All season long, he said the Clippers are frauds. I've heard him say that a number of times. He was one of the people that came out and said, oh, the Clippers, they were trying to dodge the Lakers. They were afraid of the Lakers. Y'all remember, it's the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in professional sports for you to go out there and avoid all of his nonsense, right? I remember all of it, almost verbatim, right? I saw all of his takes on that. He never mentioned Kawhi Leonard as being one of the best players in the world. He never said that Kawhi Leonard was a top 3 player when he did his weekly ranks or whatever it was. Kawhi Leonard was always in that third tier, and obviously LeBron was the top player in the world. Nick Wright could never give anyone credit in the NBA if it's not LeBron James. All he does is praise LeBron and tear down everybody else just to make LeBron James look good. That's his whole MO, is about who can I make look bad in order to make LeBron James look good. He did it to the late, great Kobe Bryant. He does it to Michael Jordan. Now he's doing it to Kawhi Leonard. It's just the way that he moves, right? That's his love for LeBron is really strange. Then you move over to Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe, every time I heard him this season, for the majority of the season, the Clippers choke. They choke. What about that choke job that they did? All they did is choke. Kawhi Leonard, I thought Kawhi Leonard, he choked, forgetting that his man choked in the finals. right? Forgetting that he was saying it as if like, you know, so this is who Kawhi Leonard is. So Shannon Sharpe, when LeBron James choked in the finals, is that who LeBron James? You said, well, that was in the past. Well, how come it's different for LeBron? When LeBron did it, it's in the past. When Kawhi Leonard did it, that's who he is. Then Shannon Sharpe went out there and said, oh, the Clippers, they're going to get beat. He always picked against the Clippers. The Clippers are going to get beat down. What is it? The championship. What is it? Opening night champs, and all of these different jokes they had about the Clippers, talking about Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is no longer a good defensive player. That's all based on reputation. Do you guys remember that? Do you remember when they were playing against the Dallas Mavericks just this in first round? He was making Kawhi Leonard doesn't play defense anymore. He can't play defense anymore. This is what Shannon Sharpe was saying. Nick Wright, he said, after the Lakers got bounced, after he predicted wrong 2 different times in a row, he predicted wrong. He said, listen, first of all, he said the Lakers are going to win game 5 and they lost. He came on TV and made it into a joke. Oh, you know, this is I've never been so, this is what he said, I've never been so wrong about a professional sporting event as I was wrong about the Lakers. I said that the Lakers are going to win and I was wrong that they lost. And then in the very same show, I think his name is Brandon Marshall, came out and said, Nick, I'm going to give you a chance to jump off the bandwagon, to say that, listen, the Lakers are not going to win. I'm going to give you a chance. And what does Nick Wright do? Instead of showing some level of contrition and say, listen, I got to approach this thing a little bit differently. You know what he does? He comes out the exact same, in the exact same show, he comes out and says, the Lakers are going to win game 6. That's what he said. He predicted the Lakers would win 2 games in a row and lost both. And acted like as if when they came back, like as if nothing happened on that Friday. Oh, they lost, so what? Like as if nothing happened, right? These guys are always wrong. And they're always wrong about the Clippers. I think they expect, like, I think they feel like it's like they expect nothing from the Clippers and expect everything from the LeBron James and the Lakers. They talk about Kawhi Leonard like as if he's not the best, one of the best playoff performers in the history of the NBA. He talks about him like as if he just top liver. And this is the reason why I think these guys do it. I think they do this to Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers because they're threatened by them. This is what I think. I think Kawhi Leonard represents a threat to the establishment of like the normal people that they want to talk about. They want to talk about the guys that are very flamboyant, that are always posting on Twitter, that have social media accounts that are always out there showing themselves and letting themselves be known. Kawhi Leonard is the complete opposite of that. All he does is go out there, do his thing, collect his check, and win. That's all. So they don't like somebody like that. They don't want all the attention to be on him. But guess what? Now the attention is going to be on Kawhi Leonard. I'm sorry. They're afraid of the fact that Kawhi Leonard may end up having a better playoff career than LeBron James. Oops, did I say it? Oops. Is it possible? Did I say that? Oops. They thought that Kawhi Leonard, just because Michael Jordan and all these guys lost in the first round, they thought they could say, well, Kawhi Leonard lost in the first round too. He never did. That's what they wanted to say. That's what they hoped. And now it didn't happen. And now they're going to be changing the story. The media is going to be flip-flopping all over the place and saying, oh, no. Well, what they're going to do is, okay, although they were just wrong, now guess what? They're going to lose in round 2. And then when they go to round 2, if they get out of round 2, you're going to say the same thing. They're threatened by these guys for whatever reason. Nick Wright, I know Nick Wright, for him is, if anybody is in a position to look better than LeBron, he's going to tear you down. It's just that simple. Shannon Sharpe tries to do a little bit better. At least Shannon Sharpe was out there when he was with the Raptors saying, oh, he's doing virtuosos, putting up these virtuosos performances. But that all quickly changed when Kawhi Leonard decided not to go play with the Lakers. All of a sudden, he became public enemy number 1. Some people say, oh, well, they're doing it for TV. Okay, so do you think Shannon Sharpe's support for LeBron, you think he's doing it for TV? Listen, if Shannon Sharpe was that good of an actor, he would be working somewhere in Hollywood. He would have Oscars by now. He's not that good of an actor. He means exactly what he says, and I take him for his word as far as his support for LeBron James. These guys are threatened by the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard, and it's the reason why they never picked them. And now they're all wrong. All of them have been wrong so far. Stop hating on them. Give these guys some credit because you guys are making a mistake. If they end up in the finals, what are you going to say? What are you going to say? So I think they're hating on the Clippers, and I think they're threatened by them. So what I want to know from you guys is, do you agree with me? Do you think Nick Wright and the media are threatened by the Clippers, or do you think this is just a figment of my imagination? And all these things I just mentioned, I completely made them up. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamers Pro, wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode.